Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Divine Journey. Now behind me, you may have noticed, I have done a little bit of work here. I put in carpenter's ladders, and then I had to farm up a ton of bloodwood leaves. Once again, this building has used so much bloodwood, and did kind of like this window effect, kind of like these shaded windows. And I was debating about removing this back section and having bridges connecting over into the mountain, because we're going to have other blood magic areas for like our demon summoning and maybe some of our rituals and our additional blood altars and stuff like that. However, I decided I want to do something a little bit different with that, and we're not ready to do it just yet. But instead of just doing a bridge going out the back, I want to do something a little bit different. And I left these corners open so you kind of have like a little, I guess, balcony type area that comes out. And I don't know, I might actually put, now that I think about it, I might put carpenter's barriers right here and right there, or carpenter's ladders. So then you just have like this one little area that you step out that's open, and maybe even close off the top section so it feels more like a balcony proper, maybe. And maybe do like some fencing around there. I don't know, I'm going to give it some thought. Also, I did a bit of building over here, and I did a bit of mining and little things like that. If we pop over here, you'll notice that I finally cleaned up some of this area here and did a little bit of the leaf work around the edges. It takes forever to do all of that. But I did kind of clean this up, and so we have somewhat of a little fenced-in area and everything like that. I had to make a Tinker's Construct chisel to be able to make these seared stone bricks, but that's fine. It's no big deal. I just made a basic one. So, and I did have to set up another molecular assembler setup because we filled up now 3 of them completely. So, another one of those set up, and I think that's really it over here. Main thing I did was that and mining outside of this area. And then I spent a while just automating. And if we take a look inside this alchemic chemistry set, we have simple catalysts: Aether, Magicalis, Sanctus, Terrae, Tenebrae, Offensa, Presidium, and that's it right now. These are all things that only require one of any given item. Doesn't require any duplicates. But I did do a bit of testing because, like I said last episode, I had some ideas on how I was thinking about automating the blood alchemy without the ritual, the alchemy ritual. And I gave it some thought. And originally I was planning on doing like transfer nodes with the rationing pipes and everything, so that it would keep, like a stack of, say, gunpowder in there at a time, and then have the recipe just require 1 gunpowder. But I did some extensive testing. I mean, it works fairly decent doing that, but the issue arises when you make big bulk orders. If you do any kind of big bulk orders, which realistically, we may not do any big bulk orders. However, I don't want to put something up that, if we were to order a bunch at a time, it's not going to work, right? Because I feel like that, I like to be able to just order whatever I want and not have a machine backed up. And so I did a bit of testing, and I totally forgot about a feature in thermodynamics, and that's what we're going to be using. And I think the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to automate some blood alchemy. Also, there's this here, and I was going to automate this, and then I realized we need a better, I have it set right now as a soul gazer. That's not actually what it makes. This is Potentia, if I recall correctly. I think it's Potentia. I went ahead and set the pattern so I could have it set up, but I need a better blood orb. I need the tier 4. So, and I went ahead and laid that one out. I was like, I don't want to have to do this again. So I just put it into there. By the way, I've made a bunch of cobwebs, like a bunch. I think there's like another bit in here as well. Yeah, we've got 124 right now. So, also, quest book. We have a bunch of quests unlocked, and we unlocked some new tabs. I'm not for sure what unlocked them. I don't know if it was something we did last episode or something I did since then. First up, in exploration. I finally got around to going out and killing the rest of our skeletons and creepers. You would think this quest would have been done by now, but generally when I'm mining, it tends to be Lycanites that I encounter. A lot of like chupacabras and shades and grus and things like that. And a lot of lava monsters, so I don't really encounter as many skeletons and creepers as one might think. But I did finally finish this out. I went to a runic dungeon and just kind of cleared out the rest of the quest, because it was bugging me having these 2 incomplete. So we get a skeleton trophy, and we get to pick rubber saplings, bone meal bags, or Serenade of Ice. None of these are all that useful. I'm just going to take the Serenade of Ice. And then the Creeper Trophy, and then we get some bolts. Also not something that I'm going to use, but we'll go with Dark Steel bolts. Sounds good. Okay, and then next up, in Hemoglobin Power, we have 6 quests completed. First up, Speed Rooms. This quest had never completed. I don't know. I don't think I ever had 4 on me at a time. I think I placed them down as I made them. So I did go ahead and pick up our Speed Runes for a moment and got that. And we got 2 copper gears. And then Sanctus. For crafting Sanctus, we got 2 Dark Steel. Tenebrae, we got an Iron upgrade for MFR. Presidium, we got a Bronze upgrade for MFR. Terrae, we got 2 more Dark Steel. And then Crepitos, we got 2 more Dark Steel. So a fair few of those knocked out. Some of these, like there's Potentia, there's Reductus, and so on. Of course, these we don't have done just yet. And then a Garden of Peace. We actually unlocked the Britannia quest line. The first quest, get Alexica Britannia. We've gotten one a long time ago from a quest. Or not a quest, a chest. And we get to pick a flower. I know I have magenta, purple. I'm just going to take pink. I don't know. I think... Not too concerned about the flowers, because we can always do floral fertilizer and we'll get them. Preferred by dragons. We also unlocked this tab. Side note, dragons actually don't prefer to evolve if it requires them to be killed in the process. Okay. But anyways, we unlocked the Draconic Evolution tab. So this is now available to us. Well, the tab is, but I mean, realistically, we could make the information tablet. That's not a problem. We could get Draconium Ingots. Actually, I think we have a bunch of Draconium Ingots. But we would stop as soon as we hit Draconic Core. So, we can't do a whole lot in that regard. I'm just going to go ahead and dump those into the system. And I did take some time to fill out our blood network. We have 150,000 LP. And I also set up a little temporary semi-automated system here, and it's still very kind of manual. What I can do is I can drop the stone into here, the Divine Stone, the Twilight Stone, and it gets sent over into here. Now, generally, if you put, like, say, a stack into this chest, it's going to send the whole stack over here bit by bit, and so it's going to take a very, very, very long time for those to turn into slates. So, oops. It is a bit of a process, especially being self-sacrifice. I have to just kind of hang out here and just just keep stabbing myself, and use things like the moss pie and whatnot to keep the health up. And then right here, this has a filter in it, and I can basically, whenever I get ready to run this, whatever slate I'm going for, I can throw it into this filter and say I just want imbued slates or reinforced slates or whatever, and then once it reaches that slate, then it just gets pulled out into this chest. And I went ahead and crafted up a bunch of slates, and then in addition, I automated a bunch of blood magic stuff. So even aside from the alchemic chemistry set, if we scroll down here, all the silicons are now automated. I added another furnace input. I also went out and found a Basal's and got a Basal's spawner or safari net set up, and so I did teach it how to make Basal's powder. And then if we look down here, I went ahead and automated moss pies, and I went ahead and automated carpenter's ladders because I didn't even want to have to mess with crafting those. And then I automated speed runes, runes of sacrifice, self-sacrifice, augmented capacity, master ritual stone, blood runes, ritual stones, and then I also automated a bunch of stuff down here at the bottom. All the cores are automated because I had at least one of the essence or one of the alchemy ingredients to do that. Went ahead and automated all the chunks, shadow bars, the ender, Petrothium, the ZBQ thing, like the upgrade token and ZBQ, safari nets, and then some of that wildwood stuff as well. So we've got a bunch of stuff in here automated. So anyways, today I think the first thing that I want to do is I want to continue on what we're doing, working towards the ritual diviner. But along that process, I'd like to go ahead and automate the rest of the alchemic chemistry set, the stuff that requires 2 of each, two different materials. So what we're going to do is we are going to use different alchemic chemistry sets for that. Oh, and I did craft another blood orb too. There's one still in the system and there's one up here. So just a heads up on that. But we're going to need a fair few alchemic chemistry sets to do this. So let's take a quick look here. I think for hemoglobin power, the Earth Inscription tool. I'm going to start with the ones that we need for this ritual diviner and just kind of automate them as we go, as we need them, as new alchemy ingredients pop up that we need. We'll just kind of automate them because it's a very simple process. Of course, we already have the air one fully automated. Water, the icy core requires crystallose, which requires ice, and then also requires aqua salus. I almost forgot about this. We are going to set this up. First up, farming ink sacs. Second up, water bottles. Both are very, very simple processes. So let's go ahead and get ourselves, first up, a rancher. This is one thing that I meant to actually craft up, or decorate for between episodes, and I didn't have time. I was wanting to build something out, but I have an idea where I want it, and then I can kind of build out the structure around that point, which is fine. Oh, let me go get a reinforced slate. I don't think I have any slates in the system anymore. And I have not made the runes that actually go under the altar. I figure we'll do that today once we get the blood shards. It's really no rush until then. Okay, so we got our rancher. And then I'm going to want basically some way to input items and power. And honestly, I think for this, since it's basically where it's going to set and everything, I'm just going to order a tesseract. And there we go. And I think, if I recall, the rancher does not have a spot for sludge, does it? No. That's for milk, so. Okay. That is perfect. And now we need to go out and get ourselves just a couple squid. And do I dare go to the ocean? The ocean is super, super dangerous. Like, to give you an idea, I actually died in the ocean between episodes. The ocean's like the only place that, like, holds fear for me. Because of all the Lycanites mobs, they're ocean and the nether are probably like the worst places regarding Lycanites. Now, granted, I have a jetpack, so I don't have to worry about drowning. But the ocean could still be extremely nasty. Because the mobs that are there, you have a ton of Divine Journey mobs that hit like a truck. And then you have Lycanites mobs that are just helping them hit like a truck even more, basically. So it is rough times, in fact. Okay, I thought I had a precision sledgehammer somewhere. And let me get some blocks to build with. For right now, I'm going to go with some kind of a glass. I think I'll probably just go with like quite clear glass because it tends to look really good with this. And then we'll go with like a base block, and I think I'm going to go with like a Tyrian. And so we'll get some of that Tyrian. I am going to do 2 different colors of Tyrian, but we'll do that in just a second. And I can't remember the exact size of the rancher. I think it's just a 3x3x3, I think. Which is fine. I'm only going to use 2 squid because honestly this is going to produce tons of ink sacs. Like, it produces way more than you could be using. So, and very easy to set up as well. It is a, okay, it's a 5x5. I was off. So I think we'll put it like right up here. I may push the rancher back by like 1. And so we'll have the rancher like right up here. As you walk into this area, there'll be this, for lack of a better word, this aquarium. Okay, and then what I want to do is let's put a, let's see, I wonder, the rancher should auto output. And if I recall correctly, the rancher is like the grinder, or not the grinder, the one thing, the harvesters, because it does require the items to be pumped out of the back. And we're going to just connect this up to the mob farm temp. That's fine. And we're going to say ignore redstone. You are going to send items, fluid, it's not going to matter, and you can send receive energy. Okay, so this thing has power. Yeah, see, it just received an item before I changed that. It's like, here you go. And then we're just going to basically lay out like a little 5x5 here. But I want a 5x5 interior. I don't know what I was thinking. I was doing like a 5x5 exterior size. Whoops. Okay, and then do I want to make this vibrant core? No, that's not going to matter. I may end up putting like a lamp. I don't know which lamp though. Maybe like a blue lamp from Divine Journey. It's probably what I'll end up doing. But putting it in that center. But I'll spruce this up because I'm going to have to do like a wall around it and all that stuff. And kind of hide away this tesseract and some little stuff like that. Honestly, I may end up making the back wall here like solid. I don't know. I have no clue. I have no clue. But for right now, I just want to make a tank. So we'll do just like this, and then let me get my builder's wand, and we'll just kind of bring this up, and I'm going to make it 3 high for now. And then we just need buckets of water. So let me go grab one more bucket of water from right down here. And we'll just grab that. Okay, and then we're going to fill up the second floor. I like to have, you don't have to have like solid water. It can be flowing. I just tend to like having solid water usually. Flowing water gets on my nerves. And the trick is you fill up, basically make like an infinite water source like that, and do your first 3 blocks across one side, and then it's as easy as just add a block there, and it's going to fill that up, and a block there. So very, very simple. Okay, so we've got that set up, and then all we need to do is just release our squid. So we'll set them right down there, and generally I would suggest you put them down in the middle of the room, or the middle of the area, because what tends to happen is squid love to suffocate. For whatever reason, they absolutely love it. Of course, I have this terrible habit of building right on chunk boundaries. But that's fine, actually, because all this area, well, not all this area, but a big chunk of this area is going to be loaded. So let me go get a dimensional anchor real quick, and we'll get that loaded. Alright, so I'm just going to tuck that dimensional anchor down right there for now. I may make some adjustments and do, like, just 4 singles or something. I don't know. But anyways, this is running. It's got power, and it should start producing ink sacs for us fairly quickly. Let's pop over here and see if we have any yet. I don't think I have a drawer for those. I might. Let me pop down here and see. Okay, yeah, I do have a drawer. Currently, there's 8 in here. So we'll just keep an eye on it, and we should see the ink sacs start to go up, because the rancher can harvest ink sacs from the squids. Oh, you know what? I did a really dumb thing. I moved the squid with soul vials. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that. What we need is jailer safari nets. So let me grab 1, 2. Or you can use a name tag. Anything like that will work. I'm going to use jailer safari nets, but if you wanted to name them, you could do that too. And there's 1 squid and 2 squid. And let me check the rancher, make sure it's not backed up. Looks good so far. Okay, now it should start producing ink sacs. And then for the water bottles, let's see, there's a couple ways we could do it. We could either keep water bottles stocked, or what we can do is we can order ourselves just 4 reservoirs, and then we're also going to want a liquid. Is there any quests for these, like liquid stuff? I actually don't like using the liquid stuff all that much, and that's because of lag. We'll use it for a minute, and then I'll probably, if I start to see any lag or anything like that, or any FPS drops, we're probably going to change it, because that was an issue we had, if you recall, back in Project Ozone. And we're also going to want a fluid storage bus. Or actually, you know what? I don't want this. In fact, I don't know what I was doing. All right, so I'm going to order an interface, and we're just going to make a quick pattern here. I was thinking of something else there. So if we do glass bottle processing, it makes a water bottle. Encode that. And we are going to want a tank. I'm going to go with just a standard Ender IO fluid tank. That's fine. There we go. And then the interface. And then what we'll do is we'll just set our interface down right here, and we'll set up our fluid tank right there. And we're going to say, you push down into the fluid tank, and then the fluid tank is going to push-pull from the top. And then we can just put our pattern in here for the water bottle, and there we go. So that's simple. Okay, so let's pop back over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up a recipe for this. We're going to say that if you take 2 water bottles, a simple catalyst, cryothium, and an ink sac, and I don't have an aqua salus on me at the moment, so I'm just going to say you make cooked pinky meat, okay, or just some obscure item that we don't have auto crafting. And we'll just put this into here for the time being, and we're going to order ourselves a piece of this cooked pinky meat. Now naturally the system's going to be saying, well, where's the cooked pinky meat? It's not going to get any, so we're going to go ahead and just cancel that, and then we're just going to change the recipe over. It's a little bit quicker than putting the recipe, actually manually doing it, I feel like. So aqua salus, that makes aqua salus. And how many ink sacks are we up to? 39. Good. So that is working like a charm. Okay, so this alchemic chemistry set is all filled out now. Whoops. Okay, so aqua salus is available to us. Now the next step that we need to take is automating some of these things that take multiple items of the same type. Okay. Oh, potential unlocks 2 quests elsewhere. So, for example, crystallos. We're going to start with crystallos. This takes snow, simple catalyst, aqua salus, and 2 ice. And if I was to pump ice into this, it would all just go into one single slot. So that's not what we want to do. So let's get ourselves some blood alchemy, alchemic chemistry sets. And actually, I think for right now, I'm just going to steal this alchemic chemistry set. And I don't know, is this blood orb that I have, is this good for making... Oh, we can make crystallos. Okay. So we'll just use basically whatever blood orbs we have available that can craft what we're going for. So in this case, crystallos can be crafted by an apprentice blood orb. I have that one lying around, so we're going to use that. Okay, so for setting these up, these things, they're not as sleek as this one. Like just having all the conduits kind of hidden. They are a little bit more bulky, but they're not quite as bulky as if you try to do it with transfer nodes, because we can do all of this with a single interface and a single conduit line, which is going to help us out a lot. Let's set this up. Okay, I went ahead and laid out the first 5 recipes that we're going to want to automate with this. And you can see there's duplicates on each of these. This one requires a bunch of bones and whatnot. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get 5 alchemic chemistry sets altogether in total, aside from the one that's sitting over there with the recipe in it. So there's that, and then let me just steal this. Actually, I've got a blood orb in here. It just never grabs it. So, all right. So there's 1, 2, and we're out of redstone alloy. Cool. Okay, and while that's building up, let's go ahead and I want to automate a couple things here. First up, I want to automate, how many patterns? I got 7 patterns. That should be good. Well, no, I'm going to need more of these. So let me go ahead and order like 20 more patterns. Okay, so I'm going to want to automate a couple things. They're mainly just easy little craft things. The first thing is an item duct. And I think we're going to go with impulse item ducts. There's not really a whole lot of use to go with dense in this case. I think just standard impulse item ducts with glowstone, and that is item ducts filled with glowstone. So let's go ahead and teach it this. Hardened glass and 10 ingots. And there we go. And let's grab some of these. And then I'm going to teach it a processing pattern. Say that if you take an item duct, that you're going to get an impulse item duct. Okay, and then we're just going to have to go fill this with glowstone. So we'll throw one of those in there, and you'll notice it crafts like super fast. And we're going to say that if you take one item duct, you get an impulse item duct. Encode that. And there we go. So we'll just put this in. Let's see, that is the glowstone field. Alright, so let's order just a few of these impulse item ducts. I'm going to say, like, give me 20 of them. There we go. We have 21 item ducts. The next thing I'm going to want to automate is filters. I'm going to go with resonant filters. So this is just hardened glass, some iron nuggets, paper, and enderium. Get you 2 of those. So we'll encode that. And then the next thing that I'm going to want is I want to automate a servo. And we could go with a lower tier servo, but I'm going to go ahead and just make resonant. There's really not a whole lot of point not to. So there we go, resonant servos. And we'll just throw that into there. And then this should be done. I should be able to get the other 2 that we need. And I'm also going to want an interface. Just one. This build is really easy to set up. And I think we're going to set it up right over here. Because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring these back and have them connect into where this pillar's at. So it'll be kind of like rounded in the front and then connect over, and then the windows will start. So that's one design change that I decided to make, and it'll actually make this stuff look a whole lot better. And so what we're going to do is we are going to set up our alchemic chemistry sets, and I think I'm going to have them like raised. So we'll have them just right across here like this. And this will be the first 5 recipes, and then I'm going to have additional recipes in it. There's at least one other thing that we'll automate before too long, but I'm going to wait until we have the blood altar automated because it takes infernal slates to do that. And these do take a little bit of a buffer when they have multiple items like that, but for the most part, it's not really a concern. But I'm going to have like another layer above that, I think. So the majority of the alchemy will be happening over here, and then this, I may expand this and have like multiples, we'll see. But anyways, what we're going to do, now that we've got that, is let's take our item ducts, and I'm going to pull off, and then we can always make the thermal covers for this. And we're just going to plug all these up with item ducts, just down through, oops, down through, there we go. Okay. And then let me come over here. Let me get 5 filters. So these resonant filters, give me 5 of those. For some reason, it's just like simulation. I don't know why I won't craft these. Because it totally can. And their CPU is available. So, I don't know. Okay, well let me just craft 5 of them. That's fine. And they're not, it's not like they're really all that hard to craft, but... Alright. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put these filters onto each of these impulse item ducts where they connect onto the alchemic chemistry sets. So just like that. And then we can right click this and it opens up this little GUI here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start setting up these recipes. So we'll start with the crystallos. And we'll say crystallos is going to be the first one over here on the left. And we're going to say that we're going to change it to whitelist. Using BT, prevent oversending, that's good. And what we're going to do is we're going to bump this up to 2 stacks. So 128 can go into this. And we're going to put ice into there. And that's it. So that is done. The resonant filter is done for that one. And then let me put this stuff back up. And then the next one we're going to do is like gunpowder, and then pyrotheum, then simple catalysts, and then we're going to do bones. Okay? So then in this one, we're just going to put, it's pretty much the same thing, whitelist, and we're going to say 128 pyrotheum dust. And then the next one, whitelist, 128 bones, and then 128 gunpowder, and then lastly 128 simple catalyst. Okay, and the simple catalyst, I mean, yeah, they do require blood alchemy, and they're going to take a little bit to craft up that buffer, but once that buffer's in place, it's only going to get used on occasion. And what that's for is, if we take a look here, and it's actually fairly important that we automate it, is strengthened catalyst. Because we use strengthened catalyst for a lot of the higher tier, like the mid-tier alchemy stuff. So then let's just go ahead and put this stuff back up. And then next up, let's get some item conduits. And what we're going to do is we're going to set this up to, of course, pull out of the bottom. So we'll just run these along through here. And we're going to set these up, say extract's always active, extract's always active. Okay, I did change my mind slightly on one thing, and that's the fact that instead of just using one interface, I think that I'm going to go with 5 and then a 6th one for input, just so that I can hide this stuff. And the reason being is that I could do it with one interface, but then I would have to make a separate resonant filter line that comes around the front of these and keeps, mainly just for these that require a simple catalyst. I would need them to keep 1 stack where all of these are set for 128. And then the bones, I bumped them up to 256. I forgot that actually requires 4 stacks of bones. Or 4 separate bones for the craft. So, let me grab this last interface. So we got 6 interfaces. And what we're going to do is let's set this up. Let's see, that would come over and connect. Okay, so I think we're going to have the interface setting right here. So I'll just put that right into there. And we're going to say that these item conduits can connect into it. There we go. And then I'm going to have a separate line that has the impulse item duct. Let me get a servo, because we're going to need a servo to extract. And this interface is just for importing the items back into the system, as well as keeping the alchemy systems stocked with the things that they need multiples of. So let's get, I wonder if I can order the servo. Nope. Simulation. I don't know why it does that with just the servos. Like, they're not even hard to craft. Like, it's that simple. It's got everything and all that. Alright, so we'll get a servo, and then let's get these items that we're keeping on hand. So gunpowder, pyrotheum, simple catalysts, and bones. And I'm also going to want a crafting card, of course. And so this interface, we're going to put a crafting card into it, and we're going to say keep 1 stack of ice and 1 stack of gunpowder. Tell you what would be faster than clicking all this stuff. Let me just go grab stacks of all these things because I hate clicking this many times. And I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and order simple catalysts. I'm going to go ahead and say make 100 of these so that it's going to get started running, making those things, because we're going to need a fair few of them to fill up the buffers and stuff. Okay, so stack of pyrotheum, stack of gunpowder, stack of bones. And we've got, of course, we've got space for like 4 more setups, 4 more patterns that can be ran through this, that can maybe sit above this or something. Honestly, I don't think we're going to need that many. I can only think of like 1 or 2 more things that we're going to need to automate with this multi-system like this, but that will be fine. And then what we're going to do is we are going to plug up our item ducts. And they're going to come down and connect into that interface. And we're going to put a resonant servo here and say that you ignore redstone, and there we go. Use MBT, okay. So it's going to be able to pull items from this interface and pump them into these alchemic chemistry sets. So then what I need to do is just plug up that interface, just run some conduit over, and I tell you what, let me go ahead and take these interfaces. Let me break these down, and we're going to put these along the top of the alchemic chemistry sets. Because one thing to note about alchemic chemistry sets, the sides are the input, right? And the top inputs into the blood orb slot. However, if the blood orb slot is filled, it's going to input into these other 5 slots here. So, and let's see, I think the crystallos, yeah, that's crystallos. I'm going to go ahead and put this blood orb into here. So let me get just a bit of this fluix cable. There's 33 pieces. And we'll go ahead and get this plugged up. And so we'll put that there, that. And I guess I'm going to have this come down like... Actually, I could have it come down right here. May need to put some redstone on this pick. I haven't bothered right now because I don't like picks being too fast for things like when I'm building and stuff like that. But I think that one could benefit from it. And then we'll just have the fluix cable come down, because this stuff's going to be kind of hidden away anyways. And then we'll pump it into here. This is going to take forever. And then what we'll do is we'll just kind of bring this down. I'm not going to have enough. Okay, let me get a little bit more fluix cable. And I will say, like, right now, this system is a bit overkill. Like, we don't have a whole lot of use to really automate these alchemy ingredients, it doesn't feel like. But it's going to pay off before long. Once we start getting into Britannia and we need runes and all this different stuff, having this alchemy stuff automated, like right now, is going to be so useful. Like, originally, I was planning on waiting until we got the the sacrifice, the well of suffering and everything set up, but then it was like, well, truth be told, we are going to we're going to benefit from it a little bit sooner than that. So, all right, let me go ahead and do this. Go ahead and fill up the altar a little bit there. Okay, so if we take a look now, this thing, is it device online? No, still device offline right now. Oh, you know what it is? I plugged into the wrong conduit line. This is the one that I started to lay out, and then I was like, oh wait, no. That's why it doesn't actually go off to the left, because that's where the conduits come in. That was my bad. And that should connect. It looks like it does. So now if we pop up here, now that should be sorted. So it says device missing channel. There we go. Device is online. And we should see the interface. There we go. It's starting to get those items. And you can see they're sending them places. Oh, wait. Oh, I blacklisted. I thought I whitelisted this. Okay, there we go. So this one is... Let me fix this. This one's only supposed to be simple catalysts. Okay, I think I got it all sorted. So if we take a look here, this one has 2 stacks of ice. This one has 2 stacks of pyrotheum, 4 stacks of bones, 2 stacks of gunpowder, and it's working on that 2 stacks of simple catalysts. Okay, so easy enough. That's ready to go. Like, now all we have to do is set up the recipes real quick. And I'm also going to need to make more blood orbs because I don't have enough blood orbs for all 5 of those, but that's fine. So let's set up a pattern. Let's start with the ice one, right? We already have a blood orb in that. So we're going to say that if you take snow, aqua salus, and simple catalyst, remember we don't have to do the ice, it's already taken care of, then you are going to get 1 crystallus. And we'll just encode that. And we can dump all that stuff in the system. We're done with that now. The recipe was the last thing that we have to set for this. So we'll just put it into this ME interface. So now we can order crystallus. However, right now it's making simple catalysts. So I'm going to cut for just a minute. I'm going to let this finish running through simple catalyst. Make sure that we have some that we can actually craft with, because right now they should all be dumping... well, we've got 2 in there. I wonder why it's not dumping those into this one. It's not really a big deal if it doesn't, but I don't know. Anyways, it's steadily filling up this alchemic chemistry set. So I'll be back in just a minute once we have some simple catalysts to work with, and we'll get this all set up. Okay, and I just went through, filled up the blood altar, or the life essence thing, while I was editing footage, and I was looking through, and, what is it, cubit, yeah, these cubit crystals. I never automated these. Let me just automate these really quick. There we go, cubit crystal, and those patterns. I'm going to go ahead and put those in there. But I got to looking, and all of this stuff you can run through with just a tier 2 blood orb. So I'm just going to make, this is the one from the ice thing. I pulled it out because I just hit U because it's easier to check the recipes that way. Of course, I guess I could have searched it in NEI, but that's not a big deal. So what I'm going to do is let me order 4 more of these cubit crystals, because these things are a lot easier to make than the Magician's Blood Orb, and there's really no difference in running the tier 1 or the tier 2. There's not really any difference. So, of course, here soon we're going to have a new Blood Orb. Maybe. I haven't looked at the recipe for it, but that's fine. Let me get, I guess I'll just order a moss pie to speed up this process here. So there we go. There's 5 blood orbs. And I'm going to go ahead and just bind all of these to me. So they... Oh, that one's already bound. So they share my life network. Okay, so we'll just pop each of these into here. 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 And here. Okay, so now we're all set. Now we are ready to start setting up some recipes. Let me go ahead and order, like for example, crystallus. We need 4 of that for one of the things. I've already got 1. So I'm going to order 3 of those. And then let's go ahead and make some recipes here. And I guess compressed, cobble, petroleum, simple catalyst, this, that, and this. I am going to have to automate lava, which is very easy. Let's take a look. There's 3, and we're about to get our 4th one, I'm sure. There we go. 4 crystallus. Okay, so that is up and running. And we're going to say that if you take compressed cobble, petroleum, simple catalyst, that gives you, what was it, is it crepitos for that one? Crepitos? Yes. Okay, I don't have any in the system. So let me just pop over here. Let me get some crafted. So there is crepitos. We're going to do processing. And there we go. That's how you get crepitos. And then next up, if you take netherrack, lava, simple catalyst, then you're going to get incendium. And we'll encode that one. And then next up, the strong catalyst is bone meal and netherwort. Gives you a strong... Oh, I don't have a strong catalyst. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's not strong catalyst. It's strengthened catalyst. I had some. I'm losing my mind. As per usual. And then lastly, if you take gunpowder, then you're going to get one of these bone shards. Now this is something that we're going to use a little bit later on, but I wanted to go ahead and automate it because it's very easy to automate. I don't think we have a whole lot of use for it at the moment. But it's this right here, fractured bone. And we'll go ahead and encode that. This stuff, if we take a look here, it's used, you can make bone meal with it, but there's no point in it, but it's used in making the concentrated catalysts, along with gold and strengthened catalyst. And then in addition, it's for making purpura, which I don't know, are we going to use much of that? Purifying incense used in a crucible. I don't know if we'll use much of that, but we will use concentrated catalyst, so I wanted to go ahead and automate that. Okay, so now all of our recipes are done, and our blood alchemy is fully automated. Now, one thing that I do want to do, just really quick, because I have not automated lava just yet. So what I would like to do is just quickly automate that, and like I said, I am going to move these. I haven't decided, but I think I'm going to build a second floor onto that automation building that's over there, and we'll use that. But we're going to set up a pattern that says if you take a bucket, that you're going to get a lava bucket. We'll go ahead and encode that, and then I'm going to want an ender tank, so I'll go ahead and get that ordered. And then I'm also going to want an interface, and that's pretty much it. It's really identical for most practical purposes to the setup that we have at the moment for water. So just a slight change. We're using an ender tank instead of a reservoir, and that's about it. Okay, it looks like there was a change to the way that tesseracts are made. Like I had that filled one earlier, left over from some time, I don't know, but to make it this ender tank, it kept locking up, and it seems like, looking at this, I have to fill it in a casting basin now. Oh, which I'm not a fan of at all because of TC lag, but let me test something. I think this would work, but the only thing is I'll have to put like an item conduit that maybe, oh, I don't know, or I'll probably just set up a separate interface. I just want to see if this works for proof of concept, and for right now I'll just make it manual if it does. Well, let's see, if I put that right there, item conduit, well, I can't pump out of the side. Let's do out at the top. We'll say that you can extract. There we go. Okay, so it does work. So I guess I'm going to set it up with conduits. Okay, let's try this again. Make me an ender tank. I've got a filled one now, so. Okay, and I'll change that over, I guess. Like, I'm not a huge fan of using casting basins when I can avoid it. I'm going to set it up back here, and I'm going to have to go move the, thing that I've got to move, the pump. I'm going to have to go move that real quick. For right now, I'm just going to plug this right into here. That's fine. And not into the ender tank, I'm sorry. The ender tank I want right there, the fluid tank right here. We'll say interface. There you go. There's bucket recipe. Point that down, and we'll say that you can push pull, and you can accept lava. Okay, so I'm going to go move the liquid pump system that's down in the nether real quick. Okay, so we're all set up. I'm going to throw that there. We've got lava buckets. Creatable now. Okay, so now everything is done. We are done with the blood magic, or the blood alchemy automation side of things. I'm going to go ahead and grab that stuff out of that chest. I'm going to throw it into here. We're pretty well done with this chest now. At least for the time being. I don't foresee us needing it anytime in the near future. Okay, so now for our cores. Okay, I've already got the Gusty core, right? That was the air inscription tool. We've already done that. So let's order ourselves a fire core and an icy core, and you can see, oh, that's tied up with that craft. Okay. Well, if we pop over here, we should see this is running. Oh, you know what? I need to extract those empty buckets. Okay. I didn't think about that. Let me get a filter. I don't think it did it with bottles, though. Did it? Because we ordered... Did we order Aqua Salus earlier? Let me order, like, 2 Aqua Salus. Does it take the water out of the bottles, or does it? I'm pretty sure we had to have ordered... Yeah, it made Aqua Salus before, because it did that crystallose. But it uses up the bottle. It does not use up the bucket. Okay, that's fine. Well, what I'll do then is just One of these is going to have some conduits on the front. There's really no way around that at the moment. I may end up shifting this one down to the left and having the conduit right there. I think that might be better. But for right now, I'll move it later. For right now, I'm just going to put the conduit on the front. That's fine. Because I've got to come through here with covers and all that stuff. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put a filter on here. We're going to say that you extract buckets, always active. Okay, looks like it's not going to extract the buckets. That's not fun. Okay. Well, I mean, I can stand here. I can pull the buckets out whenever we craft Incendium. But that is an issue. I mean, I'm sure that if we use the Ballad of Alchemy, it would work just fine. I'm gonna do a bit of testing and see if there's any of the sides or anything. See if I can figure out something with that. But anyways, we should have our core, right? There's our fire core. Okay, that's fine. If I have to craft Incendium like that, it still beats having to do all this stuff manual, regardless. So, Icy core, let's go ahead and order that. And there we go, there's our Icy core. And then we just need our Earthen core. And we'll order this guy. Oh, I love being able to just order these, like, on demand. Because, I mean, it has to craft through a decent amount of stuff. And there we go. There's our Earthen core. Okay. So we are all situated here. Let me grab this out. Let me get our sacrificial orb. And go. Go, go, go. Go ahead and get this built back up. There we go. There's two inscription tools done. So we have all 4 inscription tools. So now we can get our ritual diviner. Oh, we should have a few quests completed, I think. Let's see. 3 quests completed under hemoglobin power. We got water inscription tools. They're going to give us 3 Sardis quartz. Then there's 3 more Sardis quartz, and then 3 more Sardis quartz ore. Okay. Toss that into there. And the ritual diviner. Okay. I should have the upgrade token. I do. And so we just need to order a little bit of Enderium. I'm going to order 400. I don't quite have enough shiny for that. I'm going to order 200 Enderium. And we'll get that running. And then while we're waiting on that, let's see. There's not a quest for the ritual diviner, is there? Nope, nope, nope. Well, we also need ritual stones. Which we do have these automated. And I ordered a bunch of Darksteel earlier. We currently have 613. I tried to order 1,000 and it was like, you don't have any CPUs big enough. So instead I ordered like 500. So that works. So let's order some ritual stones. I can't remember how many do we need for this ritual. Let me double check that real quick. Okay, it's like 24 or something like that. I'm going to get a half stack. I just pulled up the picture and looked at it. But anyways, there is our ritual diviner. Okay. So now we need to do the actual ritual. So I'm going to order a master ritual stone. Oh yeah, we're going to need reinforced slates. Quite a bit of these. That's why I made as many of these as I did. So master ritual stone. There's that. And then I'm going to want, I don't know, we'll order 24. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. Oh, wait, I'm trying to order... Whoops. Okay, I'm still missing 5, though. Oh, my gosh, they're so expensive. But I was trying to order, like, a bunch of master ritual stones. That would have been bad. Okay, let me grab... I'm going to need, like, 5 more slates, right? And let me grab 1 to set the filter. Man, these rituals are going to be expensive. They're going to be very, very expensive. But the nice thing is, we're actually... You know, I was holding out on getting the quarry, right? Well, we're not terribly far at this point from the point that we will get a quarry. So, once we get a quarry, then I'm going to start keeping this stuff on hand, Darksteel and stuff like that. Just to make our lives a bit easier. I'm just kind of holding out because I don't want it to run through like, oh, you want to keep X amount of dark iron. Well, guess what? Now you have no iron. But once we have a quarry, that's not going to be an issue. That kind of concern is not an issue. But I'm rather happy that I waited to build it. Why is it still draining? Alright, so there is 10 more reinforced slates. We should be able to order like the 24-ish ritual stones that we need. Man, I'm dreading making all the slates. Well, I guess it won't be so bad because we'll have so many runes by then. So, 24 of these, I think that's about right. Somewhere around in there. And let's see, where's my Golden Fury? Right there. 24 ritual stones. Alright, so let's find this thing. We want the Ritual of Binding. Okay. And I think... I don't really have the place set up where we're going to have all of our rituals yet. I just noticed there was no mobs. I've been sitting here this, like, whole time. Because I'm inside the building, like, I don't even notice. But whenever I know I've mentioned this before, whenever I go into my test world, it puts it into peaceful. Because I set it to peaceful on there. Alright, so we'll just hold right click and... Oh, this isn't going to build out, is it? Okay, well anyways, there we go. And let me just bite the bullet and grab all these stupid snowballs. And we'll get them out of the way here. Goodbye, snowballs. Okay, I think that's everything. I think that's the full-size ritual. So then what we have to do is we're going to have to get ourselves an activation crystal. It's like a million steps to get this thing, but we're getting very, very close. Alright, so the activation crystal, what do we need for this? We're going to be making just the straight up the weak activation crystal. This requires a lava crystal, which requires 6 fire water buckets, 2 blocks of energetic alloy, and then a blood orb. Okay. So let me get, I said 2 blocks of energetic alloy, and then I'm going to want 6 buckets. And we're going to have to get ourselves some fire water. So to make that, it is hooch through a vat. Hooch is potatoes or a plethora of different things and some sugar. What all uses are we going to have for this? The meat packer, the lava crystal. Okay, that's used for a couple things, and then we have liquid sunshine. That's not really used for too much of anything, it doesn't look like. Okay, so let me just order a new vat, which we have like none of the stuff for, it looks like. I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to make 2 vats. Just really, really quick. Okay, and for right now, I'm going to put these like, just right here. Sounds good. So one of these is getting fed water from this ender fluid conduit, and then we're going to set up another one right here next to it. We're going to say that you can push your inventory over to this one. And then if I throw in, actually grab some of these energy conduits. Since I changed over the energy, I placed like some extras on accident. So can I have some of these, please? This one? Yeah. There we go. And I'm just going to run a conduit over here. I don't know. I'm going to look around and see if I want to make like a full like long-term setup for this. I don't know. But anyways, we're going to throw in some potato and some sugar. That's going to get started running, making hooch for us.
Boulder Dash! Rock and roll in your grave!
Okay, we're rocking and rolling in our graves right now. Eventually, that's going to make a little bit of hooch for us. I can't remember how much it makes at a time. Is it 1,000 millibuckets, maybe? Hopefully. Please? Yeah, 1,000 millibuckets. And then over here, we're going to run blaze and redstone together, and it's going to decent speed become fire water. This process actually takes a while. So, but I'll have some fire water built up in this for later. I mean, I don't know that this is something that we really need to have like ready access to. I don't know. But anyways, there's a bucket of fire water. And I'll be back in just a minute once this gets done running, because it's going to take a minute. Okay, the fire water's done. Let's go ahead and grab our other 5 buckets of that. And there we go. That's done. Okay. And I guess I can just grab this here. So we're going to want a lava crystal. Magician's blood orb, energetic alloy, fire water. Oh, it's fire water and then lava on the other side. Whoops. Okay. Well, I got a little bit of extra fire water here. There. And I'm just going to dump all those extras in there. Okay. So we've got that. And let's see, there was a quest for this, right? Yeah, it didn't complete my Master Ritual Stone, I think because I ordered it, or because I wasn't holding it when I opened the book. For the Lava Crystal, we're going to get 4 Redstone Alloy. And then for the Ritual Stones, we're going to get 6 Dark Steel. Which doesn't even come close to the cost of the Ritual Stones. Let me grab the Master Ritual Stone, and I'm going to see if that'll complete the quest. Maybe. Aha, okay. And we get 4 Dark Steel for that. We are knocking through some blood magic now. This is another thing we're going to have to automate with alchemy, with the multi-alchemy thing. Once we get concentrated catalyst, you know, I mentioned the imbued slates, these cracked runic plates. They'll be kind of useful to have automated, I guess. Okay, so we've got that. Then we need the weak activation crystal. And I think the rest of this isn't quite so bad, I believe. So weak activation is, okay, yeah, just a lava crystal in the blood altar. And it does take 25,000 life points, so let me get a moss pie. Even though I actually don't think we're going to need the moss pie, but at least that way my health will be topped off once we get done with this. Because my luck, I'll get low health doing this, and then I'll step outside and Lycanite's mobs will be there. We did need the moss pie, in fact. Okay, so quest book, weak activation crystal. We get 4 energetic alloy. Okay, so now for our bound blade, binding ritual, and the bound blade. Now, how many life points do we have in this at the moment? We have plenty. I've been trying to keep them up as we craft things. And that way we can kind of keep it full. It does help out a bit. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to put the Golden Fury down, and then just right-click that. Let's put all the fire out as it runs. At least the fire right in here. And there we go. We got our bound blade, and it used up a little bit of LP. I feel like it didn't use... Oh, was it only 5,000 for that, I guess? Okay. And we get a cake. Let's see. We have a quest to get weak blood shards. We need to get 4 of those. Okay, so let's shift right click, activate this thing. Alright, and let's see, can I enchant this in 1.7? I can't remember. Yes, we can. Okay, so let me get like 30 levels, and we'll just enchant this. We got auto smelt, sharpness, unbreaking 3. Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and put looting on it as well. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a book and quill. Oh, and how many ink sacks do we have? Because this has been running for a while. We have 875 at the moment. 876. I thought it just changed right there. So let's get 40 levels. And I think, if I recall, looting makes it easier to get those shards. So we've got a nifty little bound blade to use. And it's 13 melee damage. Still not better than our main weapons, but that's fine. Alright, so let's go find ourselves some monsters. I did put it in the Killer Joe, but it wasn't seeming to drop anything. Not even a Cyclops eye, you. Okay. There is blood shard number 4. And there's actually a few uses for this. For the bloodstone bricks, I think, right? The ender shards. Making soul sand and gas tears. Oh, but you can duplicate blood shards with this recipe here. So we will do that probably once we get our blood altar automated. But yeah, over time we're going to need a fair few of these, I do believe. Let's see, how many does this make? Oh, 4 of them only make 2 bloodstone bricks. So we're going to need minimum 8 of these. Let me get 6 vibrant alloy for getting 4 of them. Alright, so let me go continue killing mobs here for just a minute. Okay, so we've got our... Well, we've got 9 blood shards. So we've got the ones that we need. Alright, so then let's head on over here. And I know it's close to wrapping up point. We're just about done. Go ahead and turn that off for a minute. Tell you what though, all those quests that we just knocked out, those alloys add up. And actually, since we got the blood shards, exploration, this quest right here for Enlighten the Twilight, we have completed it and we can get our diamond pet armor. And then we can do the quest for going into Eden and Wildwood. So I just got to pop through those to unlock those. Alright, so our bloodstone. Let's go ahead and get this. And I'm going to want 2 of these. And then we can upgrade them into bloodstone bricks. Oh no, wait, it's actually the bloodstone bricks that's the tier 4. Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking. So we'll just put these onto here. It's about to change them over. I can't remember. Can I, if I make large bloodstone bricks? Oh, okay, I could just chisel them back. That's fine. So it's not a big deal. Okay, so we got the bloodstone bricks, and then all we have to do to upgrade it is we need 28 runes. And let me pop over here. Let me get these real quick. We're going to get our imbued slates, and we'll get our blank slates. I'm going to have to make more reinforced slates. And I can't remember. The next capacity rune, when can we make that? The superior capacity is demonic slates, so that's next tier. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make, I think, 16 augmented capacity. So let's go ahead and... Oh man, this is going to be expensive. I mean, it's not that bad, I guess, but we are going to need 48 basins, which is 48 cauldrons. So a little bit expensive, because I'm going to go ahead and make 16 of those, and then we've got 12 more runes to work with. I think I'm going to make... see, I don't know why I'm placing these out, though. Let me order 16 augmented capacity, because then we'll upgrade them to superior capacity, and 16 is the point where superior capacity actually becomes superior to augmented capacity. So there's that. And then I'm going to want, we've got 12 runes to work with. Let's go... I could go ahead and just make the runes of sacrifice. Like, make 12 of these. We're going to need 20 reinforced slates. Because I don't think I want any speed ones this time. Because I think we're okay on speed. And maybe once I change out some of these self-sacrifice, I may change some of those into speed. We'll see. So give me just a minute. I'm going to get some more of these made up real quick. Alright, this is fairly easy. Using hearts and moss pie and all these different things. So there is 22 reinforced slates. And so then let's get our runes of sacrifice. And the reason I'm going over to sacrifice is because really before we have to push blood magic anymore, we're going to have access to Well of Suffering. So we might as well go ahead and start making runes of sacrifice and not waste our time making any more self-sacrifice at this point. So we're going to get 12 of these. And we'll go ahead and order that. I will say it's a lot nicer having these set to be auto-crafted. It is having to make... Really? I made like 500 dark steel. Well, blood magic does eat through dark steel like crazy fast, so I guess it makes sense. Alright, so let's pop down here, and we're going to make some changes to our runes. Because right now we are still, well, I can't look at the altar there, but we're still a tier 3 altar, which is fine. So let's go ahead and remove all this sandstone from the bottom here. And let's see, we've got 16 runes of augmented capacity. I think I'm going to use these for the corners. Alright, so we'll do just like that. And then the rest of these, it really doesn't matter how we lay them out. So I'm just going to kind of just throw them down. Because you're not going to be able to see anything but those corner ones on that level. I love getting rid of that netherrack and actually having bloodstone. I'm going to go ahead and order another 300 dark steel. How much iron do I have left? Okay, never mind. I'm good on iron. Those ore berries, like, they keep you taken care of, honestly. Okay, so 3 runes of sacrifice. There we go. Moment of... I guess not moment of truth. We know what's going to happen. It's going to be a tier 4 altar at last. Oh my gosh. But I feel like we have done so much in this episode to make blood magic so much easier for us. So if we take a look right now, we have a tier 4 blood altar. And then for the next blood orb, which that thing, we went from having 10,000 capacity to 42,000 capacity in our blood altar now. So we can make a lot bigger crafts without the blood running out and stuff like that. So for the next blood orb, what do we need for this? For the masters. A self core. which requires 4 Sanctus, 2 large bloodstone bricks, an Eden chunk, and an empty core. We could craft this right now. And it requires a quest to be completed. We may wait till next episode to craft it just because it'll give me time to kind of go around and farm up some things. Like bloodstone mainly. Oh, and we also completed this quest for the augmented capacity runes. So we did do that. Make 4 of those. They're going to give us 2 Invar gears for that. Okay, and then exploration. We have completed the quest Enter Eden. And then we're going to get a hardened flux capacitor. And then there's a quest for entering Wildwood. And we get a Serenade of Health. Okay. So that was a bunch of quests we just knocked out. And I believe that hemoglobin, we have now unlocked the Master Blood Orb. Okay. Awesome. Which I would like to get the Master Blood Orb. I'm going to wait till next episode. That's fine. I have no use for the stuff that we can make with it right this second. But we do have that stuff that we can automate. That's setting in that blood alchemy thing. That we can automate once we have that Master Blood Orb. But anyways, let's open up the achievement book here, because it's been a little bit since we've opened this up. So right now, set up an automated crop farm using Ender IO farming stations or manufacturer reloaded planters and harvesters. I'm going to go ahead and mark that off because we have automated crops just through thermal expansion, though, instead of Ender IO farming or manufacturer reloaded. RF Tools Builder, we're not doing that right now. I'm going to mark off the Silk Touch. We have a Silk Touch hoe, and then we have the Silk Touch pickaxe. It's not a Tinker's, but that's fine. It's going to do the same thing. Blood Magic Potions, we haven't even done that. But anyways, kill lots of Scorchers in the Nether to get Purple Blaze and craft an Infernal Flame. We've done that. We did that last episode. Use your Infernal Flame, summon the King of Scorchers in the Nether to get Fury Fire and craft a Golden Fury. We've done that. The Ritual of Binding and use your Golden Fury to get a Bound Sword. We've done that. Get your Weak Blood Shards. We've done that. The Bound Armor, we'll get into that probably next episode. Right here, kill lots of Enthralled Dramcrixes. We didn't do that, but Corrupted Shards are craftable. And it leads into the same thing that we did last episode. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that off. And then kill the Ancient Entity multiple times until you have enough Divine Shards for at least 10 Divine Rocks. Don't worry, it's not a difficult boss fight. Make a portal to Eden. We've done that. Advance to a Tier 4 altar and set up the Well of Suffering. Okay, that's we aren't far enough for that just yet. But right here, craft Eden blocks and using them create a portal to Wildwood. It's a nether portal shape. We've done that. So this is something that I want to do, the Imaginary Time Block and the Magnum Torch. Those are 2 things that I want to do. We'll get into those next episode. That's definitely going to make our lives a whole lot easier. So anyways, we've marked a lot of stuff off that over the past 2 episodes. But anyways, with that, I know it's about wrapping up point. That's past wrapping up points. So I am going to end it out here. I do feel like we got a ton done. I will say this recording has taken like 4 hours to do. So, because it's so much like crafting all these like big things and stuff and doing all these like little steps in between cuts and everything. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay up to date with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. We'll continue on with maybe a little bit of blood magic at the start of next episode. Maybe get our bound armor and stuff like that. But then we're actually at the point now where we could start kind of transitioning into Britannia. So between this episode and next, I'm going to try to start working on the Elven Quarter a little bit. Kind of building that out and stuff. So if there's not an episode tomorrow, that's probably why I'm probably building. Depending on how long it takes. Because I am planning on building, right after this episode, I'm planning on hopping onto Skyblock since the new update didn't cause a world reset. I'm going to hop on there and do a little bit of building on there as well. So, anyways, I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.